Are Delhi University and JNU really protecting their students, or are they telling them to stay away from democratic dissent? That is a debate now raging over advisories issued by Delhi University and JNU. Both universities have asked students and faculty to stay away from protests at Jantar Mantar. The message from DU is clear: stay away from unlawful demonstrations, because the university says students could face legal action, risk their academic careers and even damage their future professional opportunities. DU has also warned students about fake news and misleading content being circulated online to fuel tensions. That's absolutely fair though. JNU has issued a similar advisory. It has asked students, faculty and staff to avoid gathering at or around Jantar Mantar. It has also warned that violations could lead to legal consequences and disciplinary action under the university's code of conduct. So, on the face of it, the universities say this is about safety, but critics have a very different question. The Supreme Court's own position on protests at Jantar Mantar is quite nuanced. In its 2018 ruling in the Mazdoor Kisan Shakti Sangathan case, the Supreme Court overturned a blanket ban on protests at Jantar Mantar. The court recognized peaceful assembly as a fundamental democratic right under Article 19(1)(b). What it supported was regulation, not a total ban. In other words, regulate the protests, control the noise, manage the crowd, set rules, but don't erase the right to peacefully assemble. Let me introduce my guests at this point. I'm being joined by Professor C.B. Sharma, who's an educationist, as well as Professor Rajveer Sharma, who's an educationist. Thank you very much, both of you, for joining me. Professor C.B. Sharma, let's just start with you. How do you make out about what's happened here, the manner in which JNU and Delhi University, the advisories that they have issued? It's not really an advisory, though. It's much more than that.
I am a Vice-Chancellor. I would not have issued such an advisory. I am son of a police officer who was SP of a district in 1975 when the Jai Prakash movement was going on in Bihar. And my father insisted that I will not issue any such advisory. Let students demonstrate. This is our right. I have been a freedom fighter. I have certain dharnas, and we fought against British rule, and this is a fundamental right. This is a fundamental right of students. Let students demonstrate. The more you exert pressure and you show that we are ready to take action, the more reaction. So I don't think that DU and JNU are doing a service to the nation, to the government, to the Prime Minister by issuing such advisories. I have no business as Vice Chancellor to issue such advisories. I should do my job. I should see that all activities on the campus, all recreational activities, play, drama, other activities should start and go on. Classes should take place. The assessment evaluation should go on, instead of saying don't go out of the campus, don't do this, don't do that. I have seen the toughest agitation in JNU, the 84 agitations when I went to jail myself, when we get out the Vice Chancellor, and the police cracked and arrested 384 of us and took us to Tihar jail. The more pressure the university exerts, the more pressure the administration exerts, the students react more. Don't do it. Let them do their job. And I can tell you, it's a dying movement. Not many are taking part. It doesn't have the sympathy of many students. It's a minority, which I can see you as an academic, as a teacher, as a JNU, a student activist and a teacher activist. It's not a very big deal. Don't worry, the government will have this. So, by doing such advisories, the university administration makes more difficult job for the government. So don't issue advisory. I'm not for it. I'm not for it.
C.B. Sharma, I think, let me just go across to Professor Rajveer Sharma for what you have said. Let's just see what his opinions are. But, you know, whether this protest has a lot of force, steam left or not is another debate altogether. And that will be interesting for another day. But Professor Rajveer Sharma, go ahead. Make your point, please.
You see, 2 or 3 points quickly I can make. One, that right to protest, of course, is a fundamental right. It's a constitutional right. And therefore, everyone has a right to protest. But does the right to protest means right to be violent? Does the right to protest mean attacking the media with stones, with so many other tools? Does the right to protest means that we can be violent at any point of time and take the law into our own hands? I don't think so.
Sure, I completely agree with you.
Yeah. And secondly, I would say that university has a right to issue advisories. It may not issue directions. It may not issue some kind of a directive, but they can certainly issue the advisories because universities are not there only to disseminate information. They have to protect the interest, they have to protect the safety and security of its students. And in the last 4 or 5 days, what scenes we have seen? The scenes we have seen are that the students, so-called students, they are not now interested in merely demonstrating. They are going to the streets all over the city. It is not merely Jantar Mantar. You go to the Connaught Place at any kind of the gully, and you will find people who are demonstrating. So therefore, if they are caught in the in this melee, in this directionless, leaderless agitation, violent agitation, then who will protect them? Therefore, I would
but
say,
I have a question. I mean, firstly, you said so-called students. Well, there are all kinds of people in this protest, and I get where you're coming from, but there are students there. And I'm saying that with, so much of conviction because I went to that protest site and I reported from there on the ground over the last 2 days. And I have to say, I was very surprised. I was extremely taken aback because obviously you have a whole lot of politicians, you have a whole lot of pressure groups, you have a whole lot of social organizations that are there. But amid it all, you have a lot of young students, first-time protesters who don't even know how to possibly articulate very well why they are there. Some of them can really do that very well. Some of them are not speaking to the media. They have their masks on because their families have told them this is the only condition. You cannot speak to the media. You cannot make public comments. So let me just be very clear. There are a lot of students there and not just so-called students. There are a lot of students. So my question to you, though, is about, so what if something goes wrong? The college is not a guardian. The college is not a parent. Even if you are staying as a PG and as in the hostel, they take a local guardian's number for even a regular day. They will not even take responsibility for the safety of a student on a regular day. They want a local guardian whom they can run to. Why a big daddy or a big mama approach for students who really want to go and attend a protest for? That's their headache and their local guardian or guardian's headache. It's not happening in the college or the university's premises.
Broadly, I may agree with you, but at the same time, I would say that too much of liberty is chaos.
And how do you define too much of liberty, sir?
Sorry?
How do you define too much of liberty?
No, I'm saying that if you go on the streets and shout the slogans which have nothing to do with the theme of the agitation, then I would say that.
Professor C.V. Sharma, your last remarks.
Look, what I would say is, Sneha, you might have gone there, and I have sat on such dharnas for long time, long periods.
I have been in the teachers' movement for at least 40 years.
I have been arrested many times.
I mean, I have great respect for both of you. So
what I would say is, look, what happens when we have an agitation, like the JNU agitation of 84, when it was the single time it was closed sine die, the issue was that the mixed hostel of boys and girls, we were staying together, one being for girls, another for boys, and the university agitation cracked down. So just because the university said, no, now you're not allowed to do that, we agitated. So what happens at this age, we react on everything. And what is the job of the administration is to convince them that, look, this is not correct, this is not the way we have decided. And there has to be a negotiation, Sneha, all the time. This age, you cannot issue diktats, you cannot issue orders, you won't be listened. So
are you willing to see this as an advisory? That's another question I want to ask both of you. A minute each.
No, it's not advisory. It's not advisory because.
And when a university issues something like this, it barely can be seen as an advisory.
No, if the university only had said, and I would correct that, look, the government has issued these orders, these are the regulations, these are the punishments. So be careful, don't do that, and you will face your consequences alone. When I say as Vice Chancellor, if we find you, we will do this, we will do that, then that's not advisory only. And once a student comes and tells you, yes, I did it, I will do it. Now do whatever you can. Now you are in a confrontation situation. When handling youth, when handling this age group, we don't do these things. So it is not helping the government handle the situation. You are making the situation more tough for the government and the Prime Minister. Now I will say, don't do this. My take on it would be that is still what you're saying. Many of us, Sneha, trust me, I don't know whether you have been an activist or not. We just go there to sit and have a day out, right? With my girlfriend, with my boyfriend, we just go there, sit there whole day, have tea and snacks and come back in the evening. That's a day out, right? So trust me, even if you have seen a large crowd, don't believe that they are all aware of the situation, they know the issues, and that is why they are. A student said,
no, you know,
Nepal
I have to say this, sir, they may not know the depth of it, but a lot of them are agitated. A lot of them are upset and angry with the lathi charge that happened on 20th. And many of them, some came from Gujarat, some came from Mumbai. There are others. And these are young girls, young boys who have traveled alone with their parents backing. That's interesting. And they don't come from political backgrounds, you know, from a political party or an organization. They've traveled solo here to be there because they said we were so upset seeing the lathi charge on students. That again, you know, as I said, is a very different part of the debate. So, I mean, they may not have the depth of what they're really standing for, but they really believe that this should not have happened the way it has happened. Of course, that has different sides to it. But Professor Rajveer Sharma...
Sneha, can I come in for a minute? Sure. Just one sentence. Look, Sneha, two issues are disconnected. What happened with the students of NEET and the suicide is very, very serious. As a teacher, I'm very pained. And I would say that don't be lenient on this. There must be immediate action and government must show to these that we are serious about it. And that has not come. That has not come.
Professor Rajveer Sharma, very quickly, maybe 30 seconds. You know, this whole advisory, the way it has come out from Delhi University and JNU, I mean, I'm an alma mater for these places as well. You know, it just brings out this entire debate around government students.
Two or three
you know, playing
things,
to the government tune. You know, it's unfortunate. It's very distasteful. This could have been done without.
Two or three things, Nehaji. One, that I myself has been an activist for 40 years in the DUTA movement. And therefore, I can say that wherever we feel that the cause is genuine, we sit on a dharna and we place our things across the table. We are prepared to talk. It is not that it is always, and one thing which you said, that it is not, the students don't belong to any political color. I'm sorry, I don't agree here. What is SFI?
No. I didn't say, no. You're getting me wrong. I said very clearly, students from political parties are there. Students from social organizations are there. Students from pressure groups are there. All of that is there. Young people from that is there. I'm saying apart from these as well. There are young people who have made their way in their individual capacities. Delhi University...
I think you might have, Nehaji, you might have seen in the last 4 or 5 days that there is not even a single voice which might have justified the paper leak. Everyone says that we are really pained. It is unfortunate. It should not have happened. But at the same time, we are also not in favor of creating a condition or making efforts to create a condition like Bangladesh or Nepal or Sri Lanka.
Again, sir, I think that becomes a very separate debate. We all can have very different nuances, views on that. The thing that we would really discussing is about academic institutions like Delhi University and JNU bringing out the, quote-unquote advisories of what they really have claimed. But thank you, both of you. We're totally out of time. Pleasure talking to both of you. Professor Rajveer Sharma, Professor C.V. Sharma. Thank you so much.